Maybe you know me as a super sexy guy who draws cartoons, but you know, it wasn't always like that. Before I found myself in drawing, I worked as a loader, salesman, electrician, promoter and fitness instructor, and as you have already noticed by the title of this video how I got to the factory, in fact, as long as I can remember, I have always been drawing. It doesn't matter if I was at home, on the street, at a lesson, at a party, or in the hospital. Drawing went with me through my whole life, and guess what profession I chose? A person whose pencil became a part of the body. Well, let's do it right. Well done to you, and not an artist, my extra chromosome told me. And I entered an electrician. I'm now thinking why, but at that time it seemed very logical to me, and even the parents of almost all my friends agreed that an artist, and indeed all creative professions, are not serious. Lyosha needs to get a normal specialty and not to engage in bullshit. As a result, Leisha did not engage in bullshit and spent 4 years studying induction circuits and asynchronous motors, because this is very useful knowledge in order to draw cartoons on YouTube. Well, like any student, I had to work as an internship at the factory for several months, but not at the usual one. And in one of the largest in the world, at least for the production of tanks in general. I live in a city where almost a good half of the city is occupied by this very plant. What can I say? Inside the plant, in fact, there was another city with its own infrastructure. Shop, banks, hospitals and so on. The job of an electrician there is that you play dominoes until something breaks to go fix it. My friend and I were green Padawans, and therefore without an experienced Jedi electrician could not fix anything, by the way, and a Jedi electrician. Man, earphone, Vibroman, bagel. There were of course other experienced electricians, but still most often we had to work with these. They were normal men but with their own characteristics. For example, Bublik was a master and handed out orders, and when everyone said Bublik, I thought it was such an offensive nickname, and everyone said it only behind their backs, but it turned out that this was a real surname. It was a little awkward to mess with newcomers, no one really wanted to work with them. For example, Vibroman called him that because his hands were shaking so much because of constant drinking that he couldn't drink tea properly with one hand. I'm even scared of how he went to the toilet. So when he was given a task, for example, to fix the engine, he said, well, let's go, guys. We approached the machine and he said, sit down guys, it's for a whole day of tasks, and he just sat there, stalling and smoking until the end of the working day. A man with an earpiece, you would never have guessed, but I called him that because he was always wearing headphones unexpectedly. And all he instructed us to do was drag some heavy shit or change the light bulbs in the dining room, for which the cooks kindly fed us pies. What a good time, I learned so much. No, but the pies were really delicious. Even though in the middle of training I finally realized that I didn't want to be an electrician, I still got a diploma, and it really came in handy for me. It's a great beer stand. There is nowhere without education now. By the way, I'm an athlete in general, and non-alcoholic beer, but seriously, I advise everyone not to be morons like me. Be more responsible about choosing your profession. Listen first of all to yourself. The main thing is that you like what you will do, because only in your favorite business it is possible to progress and achieve success. And that's all. Subscribe to the channel, like, check the group in contact, and see you again.